I have a need for speed. Speed on the trails. Today we got us a good one. We are talking about the Adidas Terrex Speed Ultra. Whew, that is a mouthful. A lot of people are saying this is really the first super shoe of the trails. We've had a lot come out with a carbon plated shoe, but a lot of people have claiming this right here definitely sits on the top. Today's video, I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and the verdict. Would I recommend buying this shoe? Yeah, this shoe right here. Now before I do, hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. You know you want to. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it absolutely helps the channel. Now let's sit back, relax, and let's dive into the super shoe for the trails. Because I'm a positive guy, I'm going to start with the positives, the things I like about this shoe. And honestly, the first one and the very noticeable one is it's freaking fast. Again, super shoe, when you're thinking of the roads, I gotta temper it a little bit because now you are on trails, a little uneven territory, and the terrain is definitely rocky, especially where I live. But definitely picking up the pace in this shoe felt fantastic. When I got to straightaways, I was able to drop it into the sixes, high sixes, low sevens, which for me on trails is me moving it. Again, I'm not gonna be Tom Evans, I'm not gonna be Ruth Croft. Again, this is me cranking it down, and I felt really fast in the shoe. The other thing is, while it is a super shoe, and a lot of times with maybe road super shoes, you're gonna feel unstable. Not the case with this one. They definitely made a pretty wide base, and it feels really good. When I hit some terrain, again, not super technical, but with some terrain where I felt like a little bit rocky, I felt stable enough when I was landing, and to me, that's a huge bonus for me. Some issues I've had with other kind of carbon plated shoes for the trails, I never felt them to be completely stable, and sometimes my ankle wanted to go. The other thing is, I really like the looks of this shoe. I know there's not much going on, but it pops. When I look down, it just looks really, really good, which is a huge plus to me. I know that's vain, but when I'm putting my kit together, I like a shoe that looks good. And then the last one is the Light Strike Pro. I can't say enough about the foam they are using this one. It is definitely responsive. It is definitely a shoe that you want to get on your toes, and it's definitely very, very responsive. If you've tried the Adidas Pros on the roads, you're going to get a similar feel. It's a little more firm, which you kind of want because it is a trail shoe, but for the most part, it's definitely responsive, and it just feels really comfortable underfoot. For this, the Pro, what I'm going to say is, if you want to podium, and you are looking to just throw down, and all you care about is pace, this shoe is definitely going to answer a lot of bells for you. With the good, you know there are some bads. And the first one I'm going to say is, it took me a while to get a good lockdown on this shoe. I had to go with the runner's knot with this shoe, and it took me a while to really play with it. I took this out of the box on a 16-mile run, and in mid-run, I did have to play a lot with the laces. So that's one thing I want to point out. I did get heel slippage, but I was able to fix it with a runner's knot. The one thing I wasn't able to fix is how short the tongue is. This tongue is pretty darn short, and if you've ever done a runner's knot, you know your lace is going to be a little bit higher, and man, it got straight to the top. There was barely any tongue left by the time I was able to get it. Again, I just want to point that out. For a lot of people, having a great lockdown and not having to do the runner's knot, all those things are really important to you. The other thing is, there's not structure here to the heel. So again, it very much is. It very much took the influence from the Adidas road shoe. Not much structure here in the heel. So if you're a person that likes to have a very plush, comfortable lockdown, you're definitely not going to find it in the shoe. Like, not even close to it. The other thing I do want to point out, I mentioned before, if you want a podium in this shoe, perfect shoe for you. If you're going to be doing a lot of hiking, and your goal is just to finish the Ultra, I don't know if you're going to find this to be the most comfortable shoe. It definitely wants you on your forefront, and it definitely wants you moving fast. The slower paces just didn't feel comfortable in this one. It felt like I was fighting the shoe. So I do want to point that out. If you are a person that's just looking for a cruiser that's super duper comfortable, this might fall short in a lot of those categories. I went over the good, and I went over the bad. Now you want to know, should you buy this shoe? And I have two answers to this. And I'm going to say, if you want to podium and you care about nothing about comfort, you want to go fast and you just want to get a podium spot, you want to come top 10, buy this shoe. It's a very expensive shoe for $220, but honestly, super shoes in general are just way too much money. And honestly, $220 for a super shoe is actually kind of cheap. I think the road shoe might be $250. Again, cheap. But this shoe is definitely one of those shoes that you're going to want to go fast. I don't think it's a shoe that is going to be a shoe I'm going to take on casual runs when I'm putting around. So if you want comfort, you might want to pass on this shoe. I don't find this to be the most comfortable shoe at all, but I also don't find race day super shoes to be the most comfortable shoes at all. This is definitely a fast day shoe. You're going to kind of take away the comfort to get the speed. So again, my answer is, if you want a podium and you're looking to throw down some fast times, buy this shoe. A lot of other folks, you might just want to pass on this shoe, because I do think the trail options are just, there's a lot of them out there. But this, again, I did really enjoy racking the miles when I pushed this pace. So again, if you're in the market for a podium shoe, this one's right here for you. So there you have it. I covered the good, the bad, and my verdict. Now I want to hear from you. Did you try this shoe? Did you like this shoe? Did you hate this shoe? I want to hear from you. Drop your comments below. Let's talk about this shoe right here. The Adidas Terrex Speed Ultra. Whew, it's a mouthful, but delivers a lot.